Hello, Seiiti Arata. The fool insists and the wise adapts. Do you insist? Do you adapt? This is a powerful lesson that you can apply in your life, whether it's on the public sphere, on politics, in your private sphere, your personal well-being, or in relationships as a couple, or in your family. Let's start with the public sphere. Are you happy with the current politics? What are the topics that you're most concerned about? Let me know in the comments. Think for a moment about this political issue that you keep worrying about, or even worse, some hot topic that really triggers you. Now here's the question. Why are you still wasting your time trying to change a system that is unlikely to change? When ballots fail, feet prevail. Sometimes the best, the wisest vote is the one that moves you. In politics, many people rely on the democratic system, believing that voting is the key to making their voices heard. However, some critics and cynical people say that that's the favorite argument of sheep mentality. That's exactly the vote is the weapon of the people. They argue that this approach is flawed and misleading, especially considering how media, powerful groups can nudge people's opinions. The hard critics see this belief in the vote is the weapon of the people as a comforting illusion that keeps you docile, distracted from pushing for real change. So you simply think that voting is enough. Are you really making a change, a difference? Or maybe you're just playing to a system that is designed to keep you in line. Should you maybe just move to a different place? If you're sticking around in a community that doesn't align with your beliefs, you're just setting yourself up for frustration. Remember, the fool insists, the wise adapts. The fool insists, voting harder, complaining about the current situation, arguing with people who are not interested in changing their minds, thinking that one day they might change, but they won't. Now, the wise one adapts. Wise people know when it's time to move on. If things are no good, just get out. Find another place where people already share your views. And it's not about giving up. It's about being smart enough to recognize when you're fighting a losing battle. Think about it. Would you rather live somewhere where your values are being supported? Why would you stay in a place where every day feels like a struggle? The wise one relocates. Just surround yourself with people who get it, who are on the same page as you. In this way, you can focus on what really matters, making a difference, instead of wasting your energy, your time on debates that go nowhere. Now, if moving out is not an option, at least stop being a fool. Stop arguing with people who are not interested in change. Focus your efforts on those within your community who are open to change. Seek out neighborhoods or groups that resonate with your beliefs. Don't waste time trying to convince everyone else. Focus on where you actually can make progress. For real well-being, don't just change your thinking. You have to also change your environment, things around you. The fool one insists, the wise one adapts, and this truth also goes for your personal well-being. Are you stuck in unhealthy habits? Are you repeating the same mistake over and over, hoping that things will change on their own? Ask yourself, why are you doing this? Why are you fighting a battle that you're not winning? If you rely on your willpower alone to change your behavior, you will only find yourself going back to the same place. You're insisting on some strategy that is not working. The fool one keeps trying to force things harder and harder, but the environment is not supportive. This will lead to frustration and burnout. So instead of struggling against your willpower, why don't you just change the environment around you? I'll give you an example. A wise person adapts by removing the triggers that lead to failure. For example, if unhealthy foods are a problem for you, well, don't keep them in your house. What an idea. What's the point of leaving that pack of sweets in the shelf in front of you all the time and every single day you have to be resisting? This is not a smart strategy to be struggling every day with something you have to resist. Replace that jar with healthier options. If your living space is negatively affecting your mood, your productivity, you have to make changes. You have to redecorate. You have to rearrange furniture. You have to move maybe to a different place that will support your well-being. For example, if you're sleeping poorly, the solution is not to try harder at sleeping, be more disciplined about sleeping. No, maybe you just need to put darker curtains. When you adapt to your environment, it becomes easier to build the habits that will lead to a better life. Why would you continue to struggle in a space that does not support your goals? Adapt your surroundings to make your environment work for you, not against you. Remove the places, the people that put you back into old patterns. Create an environment that helps you thrive, not an environment that keeps you stuck. In relationships, you need to know when to adapt and when to walk away. Again, the fool one insists, the wise one adapts. This principle is just as crucial in your relationships as in any other part of life. Think about the people closest to you. Your partner, your family, your friends. Are you constantly trying to change them? Are you stuck in relationships that drain you, hoping that maybe one day things will be different? Can you remember the last time you were in a relationship and you really wanted your partner to change something, and that something was so fundamental to who they were, was kind of part of their personality, and you wanted to change it? If so, you probably know by now this is a perfect recipe for disaster, for disappointment. The fool one keeps insisting, trying to believe that they can change other people with effort. They will change, but the truth is that people rarely change. At least they rarely change in ways you want them to. So why do you insist on something that's probably not going to happen? The wise one adapts by choosing relationships that naturally align with the needs and values they have, instead of wasting energy trying to change somebody else. Focus on finding people who already have the qualities you value. In a toxic relationship or a relationship that is constantly problematic, don't waste your time trying to fix it. Move on. At least set your boundaries in a way that will protect your well-being. It might be painful in the beginning, but on the long term, it will be much better for you and also for the other person. Why would you stay in a relationship where you're constantly frustrated, hoping that things will get better? Adapt by finding people who already possess the qualities you value. Surround yourself with people who support your growth, your happiness, instead of people who you already know they are not the right match for you. Should you change the world? Or maybe should you change yourself? The truth is that there is no such thing as a fool or a wise one. You just need to know your values. When I say, the fool insists and the wise one adapts, actually this is kind of incorrect. It can be the opposite. It can be wise to insist. It can also be fool to adapt. It's kind of the opposite of what we discussed so far. Yes, often it is wiser to adapt, to move on, to find a place where you can thrive without constant struggle. But sometimes it's kind of running away from your problems. Sometimes real progress only happens when someone is determined enough to insist. Think about all the big changes in the world. How did things change? Often it was because of innovators and historical figures who looked like fools in the beginning because they were fighting and fighting. They kept doing it. They wanted to take impossible odds and push for a change in a system that resisted them. Well, most of them failed. They were spending their lives battling forces that were bigger than themselves, with little to show for, but sometimes that persistence made all the difference, and they created a change that wouldn't have happened if they had just walked away. Just let me be clear here. We're not saying you must fight all those fights. There is no shame in leaving a place that is falling apart, getting out of a situation that is damaging you. If leaving is what you need to do to protect yourself, to stay sane, then do it. It would be foolish to sacrifice yourself to the point where you lose everything, including your health, your life. There is honor in knowing your limits and choosing to retreat when there is no other best option. So be careful with that hype that you can do everything, you can conquest everything. That type of thinking can actually hurt you. And this being said, you have to care deeply about something that is important to you. It can be politics, it can be a relationship, it can be your health or your environment. You need to have peace of mind. You have to know when it's worth for you to be putting effort. But you also have to know that the odds are against you. The chances of success probably are very slim. And if you're okay with that, and if you can accept that your efforts might lead nowhere, insisting could be a good choice for you. As always, I'm not here to be telling you, you must do this, you must do that, insist to persist. But I'm here to tell you one thing. This is my piece of advice. You have to know yourself. You have to understand your values. You can visit the link arata.se/your values to know what your real values are. If you choose to insist, do it because this is who you are. Maybe you want to chase that dream that might never come true. And even if you do not succeed, you will not regret it. And if you choose to adapt, do so because this is the best choice for your well-being, and you understand and you respect your limitations. Whether you insist or adapt, the key is to live without regret. Know that you're fighting for something that matters, and then you can be at peace with your decision, whatever might it be. The fool insists, the wise one adapts, but sometimes it is the fool who makes the change that the world needs. So the real question is, who are you? What do you value the most? Let's do activities so you get to know yourself better in arata.se/your values.